Welcome back, y'all. Hope everybody is doing well out there. Today is a special day. At least I think it's going to be a special day because we're doing the Failure Friday in the TBM, which I believe probably has the most systems in general modeled. So I'm guessing that's going to give us a higher chance of failure. And as the rules are, we're supposed to go at least 200 miles to get a quote-unquote win, but today we're going to go 326 nautical miles. So we got a couple things that are upping our chance of failure today, I believe. We're currently in Montgomery, and we're going to go over to Northeast Florida Regional, which is in St. Augustine, for a couple of reasons, which I'll talk about later. And yeah, I haven't done anything. I've got the GPU connected, as you can see in here, but I have not done any other setup. We still got all of the static elements, the ties and caps on, and no electricity going. So we'll go ahead and remove some of that stuff. Static, pitot, and wick ties and caps can come off. We'll leave the chocks on for now. And we'll throw some passengers in there, so I'll do 3 just to add a little bit of extra weight. Randos. Oh, look at this fatty. Okay, thank you. So, and into the cockpit.
Wish 102, ground runway 18, altimeter 2970, taxi whiskey,
have lights on.
cross 25, and then...
Beautiful. It's been a couple weeks since I've flown this, but every time I get back to it, like, this is an incredibly good looking plane. Look at that thing, it just looks fast, eh?
Stop 40 ground, proceed on to Golf, hold short runway 13.
So as usual, failures not on yet. Once we get the engine started up, then we'll turn the failures on. So everything pretty much up to taxi, through shutdown, gonna have a chance of failure.
Okay.
Gonna close our door. And we'll get the weather, see what's going on here.
Kilo, Mike, Golf, Mike, airport information, Delta 2153, Zulu, weather, wind 034, at 7, visibility 10, sky condition 7,500, scattered, ceiling 9,000, broken, temperature 312.15, altimeter 3006. Advise on initial contact, you have information, Delta.
Thanks, man, that's so fast.
Good morning, Western 831 for...
Information Delta as always.
Kilo, Mike.
Barometer 3006.
Vector for the Abraham, Western 831.
And winds are 034 at 7, so take off runway 10.
X-ray is ready for taxi for 18.
Delta Mike X-ray ground, runway 18, altimeter 2970, taxi hotel, Foxtrot, cross 25, and then via Tango for runway 18.
Delta Mike X-ray, hotel Foxtrot, cross 25, and via Tango for 18.
Clearance delivery 118.3 and ground 121.7. So we'll wait for a transponder code for today.
Clearance AC 5435, identifier...
Why is the latest followers thing a rainbow? I have no idea. What are you talking about?
AC 5435, clearance, BDC correct, departure frequency 120.42.
Wasn't a decision that I made. Apologize.
120.42
Defend you.
and Delta AC 5435.
Let's see. We'll do our flight plan while we're waiting for that too. Menus. KMGM is the first one. Also, Joel, hey, how you doing? Get our flight plan up here. First to the MGM VOR. Into Gollum. Golf Oscar Lima Lima Mike. Then Fiona. Foxtrot Echo Oscar November Alpha. Then here is one of the reasons why I chose this flight plan. This maybe my new favorite navigation fix.
Identifier 812 Golf. It is Delta.
See ya.
Flight 3952, Montreal clearance, PDC correct, departure frequency
Nicolas, hola.
120.42. Good day.
Guys, how about a transponder code for today?
2042, 3952, good day.
Joel, hey, were you the guy who thought I was somebody else and then you got in our group chat on Discord? Was that you? 7705.
We're at gate 48. We have
That's
813.
pretty close to a emergency, isn't it? We're gonna save 7700 for later because we're probably gonna need it today.
Roger, 12465. We checked that Air Canada 413.
Nicholas, get out of here with that shit, boy. See ya to Vadim. Victor Alpha Delta. Mike November.
West, good day, WestJet 438 for...
Boy, mate, you shit, bro. You what, bruv?
WestJet 438, imminent clearance. Hello, clear to Toronto Airport via the Hamilton 1
Sharps.
departure. Flight plan route, depart runway 20, squawk is 1766.
1766, we'll take theirs. No thanks, Nicholas.
Alright, we'll go to Toronto, Hampo 1, flight plan off
1,
20, squawking 1766
There
for
we go.
WestJet 438.
WestJet 438, readback is correct.
Do you have a server or something? Yeah, I'm part of a Discord group. There's a link to it below. That UMA banner down there will take you to our Discord. So if you're part of that Discord, then you're probably the guy. I was on stream doing a group flight with somebody, like, you got in the group chat with us.
Hello, clear to
If it was you,
Airport,
might have been
Hamilton
somebody
1
else, I don't
departure,
know.
flight plan route, depart 20,
Alright, there's our flight
squawk is
plan.
1722.
Montgomery, Gollum, Fiona, Vadim, Sharks, and then KSGJ. So total distance is about 300 something miles. This is Pilot Edge negative. This is, I use, what's it called? XATC chatter. Just like background noise.
Westjet 141, we have Romeo for
I select
Vancouver.
all the proper frequencies and stuff throughout the flight, but it's just for immersion and so I don't have to pay too much attention to
Tampa 1 on the
ATC.
flight plan
I don't really
off
do
2137, Westjet 141.
VATSIM too much on here. Alright, that's done. Flight plan is done. We got 3 passengers. We'll do fuel. Double check what we got for fuel here. Oh, gonna need some more of that, fam. Negative. No live traffic. It's just recorded messages that play depending on what frequency you've got tuned. So, for example, right now I've got on. We're on clearance delivery, so you can hear people calling for their clearance. I'll switch it over to ground, and I can manage it with this. It shows nearby facility. So ground. The next one for us would be tower. So 119.7. You get tower messages. Oh shit, I know Arizona. You from Arizona? I actually like flying out there. That's a great place for ortho, I think. I'm gonna do vectors, runway heading for takeoff, which is 099 degrees.
Ground Red 5, we are at apron 2, like to speak to apron 1.
Red 5, proceed on Charlie, hold short, runway 31.
So initial altitude 7,000.
Short of runway 31.
And we'll vertical speed up there. Oh, Arizona Aviator. Talking, no, I do not. Assuming that's a Twitch streamer. To be honest, like I watched a handful of guys that I'm friends with streaming, but I don't really watch a lot of other streamers. I just got on here because obviously no one in real life cares much about aviation, and it's kind of cool to have people to talk about airplanes and stuff with.
Staff 40 ground, proceed on to golf, hold short, runway
So people show up and talk about airplanes while I'm flying. That's fun. Again, we're pretty much ready for startup now. I got the flight plan in.
At the ground, Glacier 9006.
Weight, payload and stuff is all set. So we're gonna go ahead. We'll put the parking brakes on.
906, give way to the
Pull the chocks.
runway 02, altimeter 2969er, taxi Bravo, tower 1183 on the trip.
Get this zoomed in so you can map.
906 Bravo 2 is approved.
We're going to go down here and taxi that way. Here's one of the cool things about the TBM that I appreciate. Checklist, so you can make sure you don't forget anything. I'll come back here and close the door too. Server is called UMA, United Melons of America. And if you can't see the link, I'll, should be a banner down below. Oh, if you're on mobile, I guess you can't. I'll get you, if you want it, I'll get you a, hang on a second.
Ground at 1485, Alpha 4, short Alpha for 70.
There you go. And Nicholas, I do not have any bots in here. I think it's kind of funny. I guess I don't think I'm technologically proficient enough to do that kind of stuff. But people show up and they're like, exclamation mark, PC specs. And like, I just start telling people. Alright. We got it on GPS nav. That works. Let's go. Manual override is on control. Throttle is in the cutoff position. Strobes. You can be the bot. You're the bot for the day. Let's do check. Aux BP switch.
Ground runway 02 wind, calm, altimeter 2969, taxi Quebec Alpha, contact tower 1183, holding short.
Start switch on. Start timer. See you.
Jazz 149 at gate 70, ready to push to surf. Jazz 149 ground, push 70, your discussion. Push discussion, Jazz 149, thank you.
Ooh. Specs. I got a 1080 Ti, i7 8700, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gigabyte solid state drive, and a 4 terabyte external. Alright, we'll go up here, get this on battery, you on normal, and we'll disconnect our GPUs. Ooh.
Ground was at 1447, Alpha 2, 874.
1447, taxi Alpha Alpha Delta to the apron.
Alpha Alpha Delta was at 1447.
Alright, you get aux on auto. So you're already on auto. AP trim's on. Looking pretty good up here.
Jazz 149, continue the taxi runway 02 out Alpha Charlie Alpha, altimeter 2969, contact tower 1183, holding short.
Alpha Charlie and then Alpha Jazz 149.
Okay, WestJet's coming in Alpha Delta.
No, they're not, man. X-Plane is not well optimized. I think I'll show you what my settings are actually right now. Where's that? Settings. So visual effects, high HDR, texture quality maximum, anti-aliasing, 2x, SSAA, FXAA. Number of world objects, medium, reflection detail, minimal. I mean, I could go higher, but I'd rather have more frames. Things look good because I'm generally using ortho, and I mostly fly where I've got ortho, so it looks pretty good. Obviously, external stuff looks pretty good, and I think this is a good mix of visual fidelity and frame rate.
Ground WestJet 165, ready for taxi.
WestJet 165 ground,
Trims,
runway
oxygen
20.
supply.
The winds are 240 at 9 and altimeter is 2949. Taxi out by
Display
Oscar
backup.
Alpha and Bravo.
Might need
and
those
call tower
today.
1183 holding short. You'll be following the Air Canada Airbus just behind you now on Alpha.
Okay, we checked 2949 runway 20 via Oscar Alpha Bravo behind the Airbus WestJet 165.
Yeah, anti-aliasing's on, but it's not tremendously high.
WestJet 912 taxi, good next.
Westjet 912 empty ground, runway 20, wind 24010, altimeter 2949. Follow company off your left-hand side for 20 via Oscar Alpha and Bravo, and call tower 1183, holding short.
Okay, check
Landing
company off the
field
left,
elevation
Oscar Alpha,
9
Bravo,
feet.
sure, Westjet 912.
Altimeter settings checked. Takeoff trims are already set. Get inertial separators, pitot. There we go. Alright, that's ready for taxi. So we'll go ahead and turn on our failures now. Dank memes, yeah, there's quite a bit of tomfoolery
Down
going on there.
34 ground, and you'll be following.
Just don't be a dick, that's the major rule.
Just short of Bravo. Follow them on Bravo for 20 and call tower 1183, hold short. November is available.
Alright, here we go, boys.
If you want it, there's 81.
Flight configuration. Failures.
Okay, we check. We'll follow
Set
company.
global mean time.
Full length for now. Get back
So
to
let's
Jazz,
be 1 in
34.
400.
That's 84 full length. Okay.
Done. Apply. Inertial separator is on.
Ground, Air Canada 165 with you exiting Alpha 4.
Air Canada 165, Edmonton ground. Good day. Taxi across Alpha to Oscar for the rest.
Alright, let's go have a taxi here.
Air Canada 165.
Ground, Chinook 678, apron 2, ready for taxi.
Chinook 678, Edmonton ground. Runway 20, the winds are 240.
Yeah, Vulcan is going to be good, hopefully. I played Aerofly FS for a while, and that has the Vulcan engine.
Okay, taxi by Bravo.
Obviously, I don't think there's this much stuff going on systems or weather-wise, but it ran perfectly smoothly. Even in VR, I always got consistently like 60 frames. So hopefully that will help explain a bit too.
998 with you at November for executive.
Transport 998, Edmonton ground. Good afternoon, and Taxi Bravo to here for the executive. For some reason, your flight plan information, we don't have your civil ident, so just wondering if I could get that off you and we'll add it in there.
Okay, Bravo for Sierra, the executive, and it's Charlie, Foxtrot, Golf, X-ray.
Transport 998, check that. Thank you.
A little quiet outside, eh? I don't know, actually, we flew there the other day on VATSIM, but because I live in Korea, normally I'm streaming at night. I'm streaming in the morning today because I'm not working. So no one was online, there were no controllers online.
Alpha, Alpha, Delta to the right, horizon 2540.
We were the only 2 people in Oshkosh. I'd be kind of surprised, to be honest, if they didn't. I imagine it's probably more of a spontaneous thing, but there's not really many controllers online in that region anyway, because who's really flying into Wisconsin most of the year.
Bravo, contact tower only short.
Ramp, 60 Bravo, Westjet 172.
What did I do? Oh, it's probably the Korea thing. Actually be back in the States at the end of this month. Yeah, it's weird. I get like the early birds normally from the East Coast. There's the guys that like just eating breakfast in the morning, hanging out on stream.
7 up to ground, taxi in via Bravo.
Okay, and via Bravo for 547.
Oscar 829 ground, Roger, runway 20, taxi via Bravo, contact Charlie Short on 1183.
Bravo.
3140 dispatch.
Encore 3140 ground, runway 20, taxi via Victor Bravo, contact tower holding short.
Taxi Victor Bravo and contact tower holding short for Encore 3140, and we can take November if that works.
Next rad on
What's
here.
the
I think it might be
deal?
raining in St. Augustine too. We'll see when we get there. Be an extra challenge. I am too. I mean, it's just now 8 o'clock. I've been up for a couple hours already.
FedEx 121 Heavy, we have information Quebec ready for push.
But I mean, I normally stream at 6:30 p.m. here, which is 5:30 a.m. Eastern. So all the guys from the States that are watching end up being
The
really
runway you were
early.
issued in the clearance was runway 20. Your discretion on the push.
Okay, copy. Just double checking. Thank you. And our discretion on the push.
It's been great, man. I love living here. I've lived here for 10 years, actually.
174, we have in from,
I'll miss it when I leave.
Information, Quebec, and we have 262 Juliet.
74 clearance, PDC is correct, and 8 is Romeo now.
Here we go, boys.
121 Heavy, taxi with Romeo to Delta Fox 3, I said.
121 Heavy, roger, I'll get right back to you.
Let's get our parking brakes on. Final checks. I'm not going to do the feather twice. I feel like that's fine. Flaps are set. DI systems, we don't need flight controls. Free and clear. Looks like everything's working as it should be.
And FedEx 121, for de-icing taxi via Bravo, just hold short of Sierra. There's a northbound 37 that's going to be turning in a ramp 2.
Okay, copy that. We'll taxi
Trims
via
is set.
Bravo and hold short of
Pilot
Sierra.
passenger belts don't care. Passenger table is stowed. Strobe switch is on. Cast display. Inertial separator parking brake is good. Flight instruments good. Altimeters are set. Landing field elevation good. Takeoff distance. What? No! What the F? My game crashed. Oh, sorry. No, I live in South Korea, man. Alright, that's bad. I'm just going to start it on the edge of the runway. Sorry, boys. Yeah, that would be fairly impressive. That's the first time X-Plane has crashed in a really long time. What caused that? Be the only person in North Korea streaming. Although there's not many South Korean streamers, I don't think. Probably a good idea, but no time, man. Let's do, hold on, set this up. MGM started on the end of the runway. Confirm. Turn these back off for now, so in case we have to start the engine again. No. I haven't done FSE in a couple weeks. The last time that I flew, I accidentally canceled the mission by triggering a replay before I finished it, and that was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. I like FSE, but I like to choose what airport, what plane, rather than being kind of forced to fly one just to make a couple bucks here and there. So the flight plan still should be loaded in the computer. We shouldn't have to do that again. Yeah, it's not the best. Generally, there's a while, like when I first got FSE, I was super obsessed with it, and I was just kind of grinding for what? I mean, I get that it adds an extra layer to flight sim, but I'd be doing it anyway, right? And I tend to like to be able to choose where I'm going to fly, when I'm going to fly, and what I'm going to fly, rather than kind of being forced to choose something that I'm not really interested in just to make a few bucks. Like today, I want to fly to TBM, and I want to fly between these two places. So that's what we're doing. We do have a virtual airline, but I mean, like I said, I haven't even flown for it in 2 weeks. Also, sorry for the load time. I got all my orthos and stuff on an external drive, so it tends to take a little bit longer to load than it does normally. The weight config for what? Like the default one or the one in FSE? It is good that you don't have to worry about that stuff yourself. I mean, you buy your fuel and you choose how many passengers or whatever you're going to carry, and then it just loads it for you automatically. Plus, they're fairly generous with passengers. I think what they do 170 pounds per person. In real life, that'd be fairly low, wouldn't it? Yeah. Simultaneous sip time. Anybody got a beverage? Let's have a little cheers here. I got a coffee. It's bright and early for me. Cheers, guys. Would you like this? No, wait. So does, oh yeah, I forgot this does save state, so the plane's gonna be in the same. What? You effing jerks. Alright, get in there fast. Close it. Make sure. Why? How did all this stuff get back here? Well, the throttle also got back to this position. Make sure all this stuff up here is off, 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 off. Alright, so I guess it reset everything. Just do a battery start.
Abram, Blue 94, set the tow.
Blue 94, hold a beam at the gate 172.
Hold beam 172, Blue 94.
Probably should have waited for this to turn on so I could see what's actually going on with the engine. We're fine.
Epping Monaco 7327, gate 248, push back and start.
Trojan 7327, push to the circle, call for taxi.
Push to the circle, call for taxi, Trojan 7327.
Aural warning, okay.
Trims are in a different place. We'll deal with that in a second. There we go, baby. Please, no crash.
And April 9, Sunwing 626, it's ready for taxi.
Pause system test.
5, full
Okay.
Alpha Kilo 2165. Okay, lane 5, short Alpha Kilo 2165, Sunwing 626.
Oh, I gotta set all this crap up again. Heading 099. Sorry, guys.
Hey, Brent Norwood, sir, Canada 702, K151 for the push.
Hey, Canada 702, push to 7 Echo, tail west, call for taxi.
Flight plan
We'll call you back at
is
Canada
still in there.
702.
Although, it's not showing up now. And do I have to do this again? Oh, are you effing serious? No, no, just wasn't saying anything. I was living in quiet desperation there for a minute. Can I press enter? No. Alright, we're gonna have to delete this and do it again. MGM. Gollum.
Yeah, take for Americana 791, heavy, you'll stand 169, ready for push and engine start.
Can you guys hear me?
Push lane 8 tail west, call for taxi.
Lane 8 tail west,
Fiona?
Focal Americana 791.
Keeper and tractor 287 with you, short 142. Delta 287, lane 5.
Fiona, see ya. See ya.
Lane 5, Charlie 40, tractor 287.
Hey, Air Canada 702, taxi.
Air Canada 702, start up lane 8, and then back over to lane 7, hold the beam 138.
87, hold beam 138, Air Canada 702.
And KSGJ. We'll do the approach once we get a little bit closer and see what the weather's doing there. Good. Alright, now it's in. We're on heading. We'll turn nav on once we get in the air. Switch it to tower. Maybe we did. Did we? Tower 119.7, departure 118.85.
512, keep speed into Delta 4 and cross runway 24 right. Delta 4, cross 24 right, speed west at 512.
Transponder code we've got in there 1766, and we'll eye down once we get in the air. My favorite aircraft, that's a hard one. Recently I've been flying the
Canada 102, winds calm, clear to land
Premier
runway
1 a lot. I really enjoy that. It's cool having a plane that's that small and that fast. I don't know, I really like the P-51. The TBM obviously is up there. It's a really hard question. What about you? Wait for the inertial separator. Ooh, reset our trims. Do I have AP trims are on? Aileron trims are where they need to be. Takeoff flaps. Good old 737. That one, it's crazy because that's a free airplane, but that's in terms of the passenger jets or the tube liners or whatever, that's the one that I find myself going back to. It's just so good. And it still boggles my mind that it's free. Alright, we're good for takeoff again. Inertial separator is on. I think we're all good to go, so we'll turn the failures back on. Maybe that's what I don't know. We'll see. If it crashes again, I'm going to guess that that's what it is. 400 hours done. Apply.
Jazz 287 to departure.
128 decimal 8, good
Go. Don't play X-Plane. Just so you like the way that it looks. Still a classic airplane.
Tower Delta 2589, ILS 24 left.
Delta 2589, target day, wind 1503, clear to
Ah,
land runway
FSX.
24 left.
Clear land 24 left, Delta 2589.
I'm sure if you watch streamers and stuff, I'm sure you see tons of the 737 though. Pretty much everybody that streams flies that thing, don't they?
Tower on course 3409 on talk.
Concord 3409, target.
Line her up.
Number 1, 737 to depart, winds calm.
On talk, 3409.
Alright, here we go, fam. I'll do for takeoff. A little bit of wind correction.
Canada 758, contact ground 1219.
409, Air Canada 758.
Hardly use any runway at all. See if the gear come up.
For 3409,
There we go, perfect.
calm, clear to land runway 23.
Clear to land 23 on 349.
2660, contact departure 28.
28, what's that, 2660?
Alright, we'll switch it over to departure, and we'll turn nav on. Just follow our flight directors. We need to go direct to MGM. Where's my cursor at?
Winnipeg arrivals, it's Quebec, Charlie. Or climbing through 2.9.
Quebec, Charlie, Roger. Maintain 3000 and one able fly heading 040.
Up to 040, and we're climbing through 2.2 at this time.
Quebec, Charlie, Roger. Back through straight and NDB 18. Jet 51, turn left.
Trim's like really sensitive in this airplane. One little click.
090 down to 2600 our discretion, WestJet 51.
Alright, so we're gonna go to 7,000 feet. We'll pick up some airspeed. Double check our flaps are up. Yes. Then we'll do a flight level change. Then we'll go up to flight level 310. Hopefully.
WestJet 51, left 030, good straight at ILS 36.
030 for the straight at ILS 36 WestJet 51.
I'm pretty sure everybody does. It doesn't seem like anyone's really happy with society where it's at the moment, do they? I was super young in the 80s, so I can't, like, you know, think, oh, it was better back then. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that everyone's like, I hate society. It was pretty fun growing up in the 90s, though.
WestJet 51, tower now 180.
And there's something about 80s aesthetic that I think I like. I'm gonna go ahead, yaw damper, and we'll go ahead and turn autopilot on too. One thing though that I would like, when I was a kid, if you told me that all this stuff technology-wise, like if I would be able to do this kind of stuff in a computer game, I wouldn't have believed you, right? And to go back to not having that, that'd be rough.
14,300 for 9,000. Count 43514, arrival 5.
That's probably true, but I'm sure that everybody, you know, my mom always talks about how things were so much better when she was a kid, and obviously we probably think that too. So I think every generation feels the same way. Just things end up changing constantly. Alright, so that's 7,000. Actually, bring the throttle back a little bit. We're going to turn the inertial separators off, and the torque's going to shoot up. Notice, with inertial separators off.
Maintain 4,000 for Canada.
Scenery is that? It's just ortho for Alabama. Looks pretty good, eh? Not that there's much to see or do in Alabama, but, you know, it looks nice from 7,000 feet. How about some panel lights? Alright, once the torque stabilizes, then we'll bring the power back up and we'll do a flight level change, which is super cool in this airplane. Who is that? Vertical simulation. Oh, vertical simulations. I'm using your scenery. If you're the same guy, this is the Vertical Sims ortho for Alabama. If it is, I appreciate you. I love you.
Air Canada 1025, climb straight at ILS 31, altimeter's 299.5.
I don't know. The good thing about X-Plane, I see what you're saying, but I think the thing that's appealing about X-Plane is that unlike a lot of other simulators, they model airflow over an airfoil. So rather than just putting performance numbers into a chart and then modeling a flight model around that, it's actually kind of flying like an airplane would in real life, and it responds to air differently. 'Tis me, guys. If you like the scenery, thanks for Vertical Sims out there. You are a legend, brother. Alright, so we're going to go flight level 310 today. I'm going to just go direct to, so we'll scroll that in here. And we need to start ascending before I get too fast. Watch this. So with a flight level change, select 124 knots.
Skyward 750, roger.
No, that was CAN4 3514, level 15.
CAN4 3514,
Look at that.
roger.
See ya.
Cleared to 3000.
Okay, relieve 5 to 3000, 3514.
Rocket ship right there, fam. 5,500 feet per minute.
Air Canada 1025, you're 12 to the runway tower now, 118.3.
18.3 for CAN 5 today.
I never turned on any landing lights or anything. I think so. I mean, Flight Simulator looks really good, but I saw that, I mean, they're advertising it as being released on the Xbox as well, right? I think that probably what's going to happen, and I'd be happy to be wrong, is that they're probably going to market this to like a wide audience, and it's going to be something like Aerofly, where, you know, it's fun to jump in and fly around, and it looks good and everything, but it's not really particularly advanced system-wise. Hopefully I'm wrong. Because obviously, I mean, any new sim that's good is good for the community, but just my thought at the moment.
CAN4 3514, left 030, you're cleared to straight in ILS 36.
Left 030, cleared straight in ILS 36, CAN4 3514.
Wind zip 6262, arrival maintain 4000 on your present head.
What we can do, as long as we don't take the NG over, or sorry, the torque over 100%, you can actually take ITT up to 800 degrees, and NG can go over 100%. So once you get a little bit higher and the torque comes down some more, we'll bring up the power.
Quebec, Charlie, just confirm full stop.
Affirmative for Quebec, Charlie.
Roger.
Well, technically, I mean, Aerofly is a simulator. It simulates planes. They just don't have very complex systems. There's not like complex weather dynamics or dynamic weather at all. So simulator is a broad term for the genre, but it doesn't mean it's going to be high fidelity. And even in an X-plane, for example, I mean, you might, even though the airplanes are modeling airflow over an airfoil, some planes are better than others, or some planes are quote-unquote study level, right? So there's a pretty big disparity even in X-plane. So I wouldn't say I'm holding my breath for Flight Simulator, but I hope that it's good.
Arrival maintain 5000.
No failures yet. The other good thing about the TBM is that the failure happens. Hopefully it'll show up on the CAS display down here.
Runway 31's approved.
Let's see, when we get Jacksonville Center, I'm guessing maybe Atlanta Center. Let's see what we got. Atlanta Center, that'll work. Yeah, but I mean, it's like that with every subgenre of games. There's fanboys, even in a single game. People are like, no, this airplane's better than that one. There's just, it's tribalism and people are petty. In my opinion, I feel like if the game is good, that's a win for everybody. And I don't understand. I think people are just protective of the thing that they spent time and money on, and they want that to be the thing. Like, I would love it if X-Plane was the main flight sim, because that would mean that more developers are making airplanes and sceneries and stuff for it. But honestly, I really don't care. Do what you want, do what you like, and have a good time. And don't be a dick. Those are my rules. Alright, we'll bring the ITT up to as close to 800 as we can get now. 757 degrees. That'll work for now. Also 18,000 feet. Standard barrow. Right, exactly. Joel, don't be a PP. Words to live by.
Air Canada 883, when ready.
Also, coffee time if you got a beverage. Simultaneous sip. Grab your cup, your mug, your stein, your glass, your chalice, your thermos, your canteen, your flask, and we'll drink together. Cheers. Cabin is pressurized. So far, smooth sailing. Famous last words.
Emirates 241, one ready to send 8,000.
Let's look at what's going on weather-wise in St. Augustine. Guess which approach we're going to put in here. Ooh, looks like there's a little bit of rain there too. Winds 030, 5 knots. 10 miles visibility, scattered at 8,000. Temperature 27, dew point 23, altimeter 3006. So winds are 030, so probably runway 35. So I'm going to put that in for now. Procedures, select approach. Did the RNAV on 3-1.
241, proceed directly
RNAV
speed
3-1.
300 knots or greater.
Direct to position Leapa.
Via, ooh. I don't even know what the initial approach fixes are, but I want to say Dookie just because. Let's see. RNAV 3-1.
Brickyard 3476. What's the
Let's
wind
do
at your
Dookie. I'm really mature. Dookie, IF.
Okay, thank you.
Load that. Alright, so we got an approach in. And once we get to cruise, I'll set VNAV for our descent.
Main center, climb flight level 200. 200, test 869.
Looking good out here, boys and girls.
Air Canada 455, Masonic climb flight level 280.
Level 280, Air Canada 455.
We even got a bit of a tailwind.
Encore 3651, so level 250. Encore 3651, radar identified. Good evening.
Encore 3466, request.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're a bit early. Would look for 300 knots. True.
No camera mods. It's just default X-plane cameras. One of the cool things about X-plane is that you can move the camera around in the cockpit. You can save wherever you want. So I've got presets. So here's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's like keyboard shortcuts. So Shift 2 is a flyby. Shift 3 will put you on the end of the nearest runway. So obviously that's not going to really do us any good. But if you're doing replays on landing, that's pretty cool. You can see the contrails behind it.
The 883, contact arrival 1244.
Still no failures. Oh, one thing we should do. Double check where the emergency, I think it's down here. Yeah, emergency gear release is down there. And the other good thing about the TBM is the checklist. We can select or the normal procedures. Go back up here. Emergency procedures. Actually, we'll call that up and leave it there.
Encore 3467, best forward
symptoms.
speed, 23.
This is really cool. So, in case we need that.
Okay, best forward speed, climb for 23, Encore.
Make sure next rad is on. X-Plane's a good time, man. I'm obviously I'm an X-Plane fanboy. I don't have P3D. Part of the reason, though, I think, is with flight simulators as well, is you pay for the game, which is basically a basic physics simulator, right? And then you're paying for all of your airplane modules and scenery and stuff like that. So you end up spending a ton of money in one game, which is why there's probably not a lot of crossover, and they take up immense amounts of hard drive space. Like, I've got 2 other games on my computer. Most of the rest of my internal hard drive is X-Plane stuff. And I've got a 4 terabyte external, which is mostly all ortho scenery for the US. Yeah, that's the downside too, is that it's pretty PC intensive.
30, descent 7,000. 7,000, push to 530.
Cool thing about the TBM is that it comes with like this maintenance manager that allows you to put in your own registration, and it puts that on whatever livery you're using. So this is a custom livery, but that's the registration that I chose for this airplane. I wish more devs would do that. It seems like a pretty easy thing to be able to implement.
ASOS, and we're going to need about 5 to 10 right for dodge around a few build-ups to the north in 530. Push at 530, deviations left and right are approved.
1,000 to go.
Over 400, good afternoon.
251, roger.
But also earlier we were talking about how X-Plane models airflow over like a 3D object. You can see the way that the plane's moving around. You get a little bit of variable wind. I think that's really cool. Well, you can do that yourself. I mean, if you press C, it frees the camera. So if I press it now, it's going to decouple it from the airplane. You'll see the airplane's just going to sail off. And now I can move the camera around wherever I want to. So if you're at an airport or something, you can walk around like that.
Center, good afternoon. This is Gulfstream November 616 Romeo Kilo, level flight level 400.
Alright, I'm trying to bring the ITT forward a little bit more. Boy, that's about as close as I want to get. 780 degrees. So what kind of ground speed we're going to get here? Now that we're in cruise, we got no failures or anything, so you can free camera around. You can use the comma and period keys for forward and back. Have a look around the airplane. Lap of luxury, boys. You want a table? We got tables.
Delta 175 Heavy, level 340.
Oh, like that kind of stuff? Yeah. Although, if you got better pushback, you can, although you can't drive the tug, you can do like tug camera. And a lot of planes, like this one for example, if you're on the ground, you get a ground handling menu, and there's like a one of those handheld tugs that you can use to move the plane around. The King Air has one of those too, but I still think it's glitched as hell. Let's have a look and see where we're at. I think we're in Georgia now. Oh, just about to cross over in Georgia. I think this is the Alabama-Georgia line.
Center, good morning. Golf Mike Papa Oscar, level 220.
Center Golf Mike Papa Oscar 220, front of roger.
And let's see here. We'll do our VNAV. So Sharks is 45 miles from it's gonna be 10,000 feet at Sharks. So go 10,000.
Set of reins, contact 135.
So now you get a VNAV profile to hit 10,000 at Sharks, and from there we'll control it ourselves. So when we get a little bit closer, it'll give us a vertical path warning to let us know to get ready to use VNAV. That is also a cool feature of TBM. We're flying to St. Augustine for 2 reasons, which I will explain when we get there. For number 1 is the waypoint "See ya," which I think is funny, because I say that all the time. Even got this emote for it. See ya! And we're also going to fly over one of my favorite spots in the world.
Good morning, Air Canada 1258. You're climbing through 16.8 for flight level 230, speed 300 knots or greater.
Canada 1258, good morning. Climb flight level 300.
Flight level 300, Canada 1258.
We're in Georgia now. Also, St. Augustine, the oldest city in the U.S., I believe.
Traffic at 11:30 in about 10 miles opposite direction, 1,000 feet above you. It's a regional 700.
See how we're doing here.
Park Garrett 68.
No failures.
550, traffic 11 o'clock, 5 miles opposite direction, 1,000 feet below you. It is Embraer 175.
We got him inside the 145.
What's your neighborhood airport? I'm from Georgia, but my neighborhood airport's a little bit to the north. We're in southern Georgia now. Pull it up on the map, we'll have a look at it.
'24 heavy, 10-5, climbing.
Mine is
Rouge 16,
KLZU.
24 heavy, climb to flight level 230.
Climbing level 230, Rouge 16, 24.
Gwinnett County, Briscoe Field, that's the one closest to my house. Zoom out and see where we're at in relation. Way down there. So we're going to pass over Albany, if you live anywhere near that.
Contact 135.6, good day.
6080, have a good one.
KCCO, let's see what that is. Noonan, Coweta, okay. Let's see where we're at. Noonan, Coweta right here, so we're directly south of it right now.
75, we got 18.
We're on the other side of Atlanta from each other. I live up here.
Yeah, 75, good morning.
Gwinnett.
Resume normal speed, and
Well, I will when I get back to the States.
Sure.
you clear back Badger on course, flight level 320, Canada 75.
320, Badger on course, Air Canada 75, normal speed.
(1524), contact center, 12707.
12707, Rouge 1624.
So when we fly over my favorite spot in the world, or one of my favorite spots in the world, you probably know what I'm talking about. Well, technically, I mean, I could probably be there in 10 or 15 minutes at this speed. We're going 330 knots. It's pretty sweet for a propeller airplane. The Okefenokee Swamp. I think I've said that before on stream and people laughed. They didn't think it was a real name.
At 1258.
But this flight plan flies us right over it.
Airport level 320.
Should be on our descent.
Air Canada 1258, contact 133.87. 3387, again, 158.
Well, it's a super nice day. It's like it's smooth up here too. Look it, boys. Next waypoint is see ya. See ya. 31 nautical miles. See if we can see where our TOD is here. Yeah, that little dot is the top of descent.
Over to Swall 133.87.
33.87, Air Canada 785.
Okinawa, Japan.
Jazz 913 at 16,000. We got Quebec.
Jazz 913 at 16,000. Roger, altimeter 2969er.
2969, Jazz 913. And check the line at 15, right?
Yes, we are.
Very good.
Haunted ass place. Were you in the military? It's pretty much the only people that I know that know about Okinawa or have been there or were in the army. What's haunted about Okinawa?
Toronto Center, Singapore 52 Heavy, good afternoon, level 400.
Singapore 52 Heavy, Japan. Yes, sir, good morning.
Gotcha. I had a friend that was in the army that was stationed there for a little while.
Roger, no reports this morning. Should be pretty smooth as you get up there. You're now cleared to one.
Never been. I've been to Japan. Never been to that part of Japan.
Delta 1459, just to let you know, we had a little bit of light brown in the clouds and minus 14 on the 10.
Okay, thank you.
So this is Albany, Georgia, right here.
Good morning, Air Shuttle 6156 at flight level 310, information Quebec.
Air Shuttle 6156, good morning, information Quebec is correct.
Thank you.
Not really much, to be honest. I mean, he had nothing really bad to say. I don't think he enjoyed his time in the army as much as he thought he would, but I ended up like actually meeting a few other guys from playing games online, because we used to hang out and play, because he lived in Korea before, then he moved back to the States and joined the army, and so he introduced me to a lot of his gaming friends. So I would play, because we're kind of in the same time zone, so we play games together. So I knew a bunch of guys, but no one ever said anything about the hangars and stuff being haunted. Although he did stuff with their missile defense system, so I'm not sure how close he was to those hangars. Although I wouldn't be surprised. If ghosts are a real thing, I'm sure that, you know, places like Japan are probably littered with them, eh? A lot of history there.
Encore 3523, say your indicated speed.
245.
Encore 3523, 220 knots or less. When ready, descend 17,000. Altimeter 2968.
220 or less, 17,000 on 2968 at our time, Encore 3.2.
Delta 1459, climb to flight level 230.
To flight level 230.
Let's have a look here. Flight plan. So top of descent in 10 minutes. Vertical path, or flight path angle, minus 2.5 degrees. Target speed, 1,500 feet per minute. Yeah, I wonder about that too in Korea, because where I live in like the southeast corner, and I don't know what you know about like the Korean War, but essentially the North Koreans pushed almost all the way to the bottom tip of South Korea, and they had what was called the Busan Perimeter, and I live at a city that's just north of Busan, so we were part of the Busan Perimeter. And if you go hiking, there's mountains all over the place, and if you go hiking, you can see little foxholes and stuff dug into all the hills. Like, it makes you wonder about all the stuff that happened here. It's cool to be a part of history, but sometimes you can feel like you're stepping in blood or something, you know?
Airbridge Cargo 407, proceed direct gate box.
Direct to 8 months, Happy Cargo 407.
Ignore me. Now we got a pretty decent tailwind with 335 knots, probably climbing still.
Montgomery, good day, Oscar 65 Heavy, inbound Chelsea, level 360, CPDOG.
Austrian 65 Heavy, center, hello.
65 miles to the next waypoint, and now probably 8 minutes to descent. I'm agnostic about ghosts. I think, you know, my mom and a couple guys that I work with, they've talked really adamantly about having paranormal experiences. And I think, particularly with my mom, like, she's not going to lie to me, right? But I have no experience with it. I'm open to the possibility, but I wouldn't say that I'm afraid of them, but I just mean that if you're living in a place like this, you can feel the history beneath your feet, right? And if there was a place for ghosts, I'm sure that this and Okinawa would be those places. And if you're in the military, you don't really have a choice where you get to live, right? Someone tells you you're going to Okinawa, that's where you're going.
It's cut from the RNAV runway 27 is
Cat Force 3827, center, good day. The Fredericton altimeter is 2957. Proceed direct to Itcut and descend 8,000.
57, descend 8,000, direct at Camp Force 3827.
I looked at weather radar and satellite before I did this flight, and I expected clouds for most of this and expected some rain, but there's nothing showing up on NextRad or anything. Also, it's been a totally uneventful flight so far.
And Jazz 934, contact arrival on 1244, good day.
Jazz 934, good day.
Jazz 903, contact center 12025, good day.
Jazz 903, good day.
So what happens, I've had a failure every single time that I've done this so far. Some of them have been really minor, and some have been, like I had a landing gear failure once, I got our static ports clogged once. So when you turn on failures, you have a global mean time between failures, and I think it's default to 10,000, which means that for every hour there's a 1 in 10,000 chance of any system failing. And so X-Plane, the default systems, I think there's over 200, and then I'm sure the TBM has its own failures as well. So I turned the failures down to 400, which means there's a 1 in 400 chance per hour of over 200 systems failing, which is really high. First time we did it, I had a linkage failure on takeoff, and the elevators and ailerons didn't respond to input. The second time, I think there was like one of the PFDs on the 767 that we were flying failed. Then we had a landing gear failure, and then a static port failure, and I think that's all the times we've done it. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. We still got a ways to go, obviously, before landing. That's why I tried to find the landing gear extension handle. Some of the guys in our Discord gave me the idea,
Cat 438,
but you get used to just doing successful flights where nothing goes wrong, and it's kind of, it's interesting. It's a different dynamic, and probably a good habit to get into, particularly if you want to fly in real life, of like actually monitoring your gauges and temps and stuff like that. What city is that? Tifton. My friend from there. Tifton, Georgia. So I think in 1 minute from descent, it gives you an audible warning. So we got 4 minutes. I feel like once you get below 14,000 feet and you can breathe without oxygen, the most dangerous part is over. I kind of expected maybe something with pressurization up here. I don't know. Yeah, which is part of the reason that in a real airplane you would constantly be looking at stuff. Get Jacksonville Center. There we go.
Charlie India Bravo for higher contact center 12712. 2712 for CIB. Good day. Good day, sir.
At least with this plane, there's an emergency checklist, so if something happens and I'm not really sure what to do, I could probably pull it up. McFadderson, how you doing? Yeah, whoa, I told you last night I was doing it this morning because I got plans this evening. I'm not working today. How you doing?
Sorry, it was 775. I was with you level 1.
Timing, yeah, it's off.
We checked the remarks with the turbulence.
But I've been told you, boy.
Give us 7775, Center Roger, and the Fredericton
my PC, well, the game crashed right when I was about to taxi onto the runway, so I had to restart it at the hold short. Got back in the air. So far, nothing has failed. Knock on wood. No. It only counts in the airplane. That was a hardware failure. Or probably software, I don't know. That's the first time X-Plane has crashed in a really long time. Yeah, he showed up and thanked him for the ortho. Didn't know he was on Twitch. It's funny, someone right before he followed was like, hey, what scenery are you using? I was like, it's just ortho I got from Vertical Sims, and then he followed right after that.
240 on course 404, St. Jude level 220 for 1000 with hotel. Requesting direct Heathcote, 100 yard F4.
Encore 3404, center area 8, proceed to Ithaca. Descend 6,000 on a Fredericton altimeter 2958.
Also, here's a question. Is my mouse cursor over the heading knob right now? Alright, because the last couple days that I've noticed, if I look at the YouTube videos that I upload afterwards, the mouse cursor is way off. I think you pointed it out last night when I was talking about how small the click spot was in the heading knob on the Premiere.
Right, 941 is identified. Clear direct taxi on course. What's your requested level?
Direct taxi now and requesting flight level 370 for United.
In this case, it's no, I wonder why that was off.
It has the appropriate direction, 36 or 38.
So we'll try 36, United 941.
941, flying flight level 360.
Flight level 360, United
941, Roger.
Vertical track.
There it is. 10,000. And turn VNav on. So we got VPath on the PFD here. Yeah, well, see, you're only confused because you weren't listening. And, well, you weren't even in the stream. I have today off. I'm doing something tonight. So I said I was doing Failure Friday in the morning my time, which is going to be in the evening for you guys. Thank you for the host, Melone.
River 297, you are
There we go. We're
identified,
descending.
direct to Gramp. Are you requesting higher?
River 297, direct to Gramp and assembly. River 297.
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Say,
7 p.m. It's 9 a.m. here.
297.
So you guys showed up. This is going to be probably normal when I get back to the States, though. You got to get used to it. It's like a Pavlovian thing. I'm training. Also, I think we should be coming up on the Okefenokee swamp here. Let's have a look. Yeah, so here's what I was talking about. Okefenokee Wilderness. It's one of my favorite places in the world. Nice. Should have done one today. Actually, probably still could do after this if you guys are up. You can watch whoever you want, man. Not many people watching over here. I got on, I saw Matt Davies was streaming. I was like, I'm committed. I gotta get in here. Headed to the bar. You have a drinking problem, Melon. I don't see him very often, but whenever I do, he's going to get some White Russians.
My frequency 121.37.
Oh, is Chewy streaming too? Everybody knows Chewy, don't they? The flight sim community is super small. I feel like if you follow flight simmers, you pretty much know everybody. No, Matt Davies is the English dude. He used to be really fat, lost a bunch of weight, and now he's working on his real PPL. I didn't mean that as like a derogatory thing. I'm glad for him, but yeah, he used to be a really heavy dude, right? For the Grillin' Bands. Is this a franchise restaurant or is this like a legit restaurant? Yeah, and he sends us pictures of this drinky do. Or last time it was like a White Russian and a Pepsi. Like, how many calories do you need with just your drinks? And that doesn't even include food. Alright, good. I thought it wasn't like a Chili's bar and grill or something like that. I was about to make fun of you. Guys, we're going to Applebee's.
KM255 Heavy Center Squawk 2406.
Also, McFatty, you missed our transition over, see ya! We needed some spam in there. See ya! Also, look at our initial approach fix. I chose it just because it was called Dookie.
Center 3423. Encore 3423, go ahead. Take a flight of 220. Encore 3423, descend flight of 220.
Although we can't see it, we should be over the Okefenokee, getting over the Okefenokee right now. The Okefenokee is a magical place. I think one of the reasons it's my favorite place is because it's just like unimaginably beautiful. The water has tons of tannic acid in it, so it's completely black, and if the wind is calm, it looks like a mirror. Also, you can see, because it's so far from pretty much everything, you can see there's not many cities or anything nearby. You can see pretty much every star in the sky. And I remember once going camping there when I was in college with some friends, and we were sitting in the middle of the road, and you could see obviously the car was coming. You could see for miles and miles because it's just a long stretch of road. And sitting there and seeing the entire Milky Way above us, it was awesome. And I definitely need a boat. A lot of alligators, snakes, bears, bobcats. Later, have fun at Chili's, Melon, or Applebee's, or wherever. Weather check, wind 030, 5 knots, still.
6177. You can
Altimeter 3006.
Okay, we're squawking 6177 direct to Moffett, and Cody Ride reports that flowing through ahead.
No, I've had a couple reports of some turbulence right now.
Oh, guys, we got a failure.
Last very long, and no one's changing level.
The heading bug no longer works. Plane autopilot's still flying it. I can't, TAWS is out. Can't use heading. Alright, that's a pretty minuscule failure.
Your contact Goose 119.5.
Failure number 1. Still time for more.
119.5.
18,3006. You mean 5 Guys? Or is 4 Guys like the cheap burger knockoff? I wonder if you get sued for intellectual property or copyright infringement if you made a burger place called 4 Guys. Yeah, 5 Guys is good. Their French fry policy is ridiculous, though. Like, if you order, if you haven't been, so if you order like a small French fry, they'll give you the cup full of French fries, but then they put it in a big paper bag that's overflowing with French fries. So if you get a large, you basically, it feeds like 5 people. Maybe that's why they call it 5 Guys. I've never had their hot dog. Who goes to 5 Guys Burgers and gets a hot dog?
Kennedy 23, we're going to descend to the 34.5 for 290.
Kennedy 23, continue to descend to 6,000 feet, altimeter 297.
That's an interesting failure.
Down to 6,000, 297.
I mean, not exciting, but interesting.
Kennedy 23, right. Give us 7791, you want 14,000?
That's correct, on 4,000.
Give us 7791, maintain 14,000.
Ooh,
On 4,000.
we're over torque. Sorry, sorry. Yeah, so I just noticed that. My bad. About to have 2 failures. That would be a little bit exciting. So why? So the terrain avoidance warning system is off. The heading is broken. So technically that's 2 failures. I'm not too upset about the TAWS system though. Yeah, I forgot how to turn it off. You showed me, but I think it's just off now since the last time I turned it off.
Descend to 462. Lufthansa 462, go ahead.
It's a little overzealous.
You are identified by top, rest of route unchecking.
Oh, there's some Okefenokee.
Considering top.
Just imagine all the snakes and alligators down there. There it is. Also, Okefenokee means land of the trembling earth. And there's, you can see kind of these little islands and stuff. Decaying plant matter kind of floats up to the surface, like peat moss and stuff like that, and then grass and trees end up growing on it, on top of the water. So it looks like ground, but if you step on it, your feet can go through it, and it's just like a wobbly, mushy goo.
Good morning, and shouldn't be anything worse than occasional light shots for you.
Roger, thanks, Lindbergh 6260.
Yeah, we don't need to do. We're going to Florida. There's no terrain out here.
On course.
Direct Nigolo, Lindbergh 6260.
What fishies? Those are the bitey ones that you're talking about? Twitch, Matt Davey, he's offline right now. I can get you in a second.
Center, hello, Canada 448 with you, 20.3, climb.
It's also like a weird, I don't know if he was actually flying this morning or just doing a chat, and there's all these guys that stream themselves just talking.
Dispatch mentioned that 250 and below is smooth, so...
I mean, it's cool that people are that interested in you, but it's kind of a weird phenomenon to me.
250. F5 250, Canada 440.
Okay, there it is. I thought that was from Lake Okeechobee.
Canada 411, 127.0, so long. 1.0, altitude on there, Canada 411. Bye.
RNAV 31.
We're Canada 611, flight level 320.
Air Canada 611, level 320, center. Good afternoon, Avis Pro.
Well, that one says Okefenokee. That's definitely the one that we just flew over, but that's a swamp. Okeechobee is like that giant lake near Orlando? Central Florida somewhere.
Flare 210, contact center 134.9, good day.
Maybe. I thought we looked at that Wikipedia thing, though, when I was doing that flight over Okeechobee, though. Pretty sure I've seen that before. I remember those, at least. Get Out. Refresh my memory. What movie is that? So after we hit sharks, we'll activate approach, and then I'll go down to 3,000 feet there.
Shark 9852, contact me.
Yeah. I've never seen it, but I heard about it. A lot of people told me I should watch that. Is it good?
13372.
Yeah, I think I'm familiar with. I can remember the plot from what I heard from other people.
Of 9852, roger, at your discretion, descend 6,000, cross move IVAS 6,000. The cold lake altimeter 29er 78.
That discretion down to 6,000 for cross move it at 6,000, push up 952. Good morning, Jazz 33 checking in with you at 200.
Jazz 33, good morning.
Center Chinook 9402 is in descent.
Chinook 9402, roger.
McFaddy, I don't know if you knew this, but on the flight plan page, I was using the little cursor thing to scroll in altitudes. I never even thought, for whatever reason, to use the keypad. That apparently works.
Center Morning, 061, second head 13,000.
King Air Golf Sierra Whiskey Uniform Center today, the Golden Altimeter 2977.
Remember, like, being in turbulence, and obviously, like, the plane's moving around, and I'm trying to grab the cursor wheel, and why did I never think of that? Dumber than eggs.
Center Chinook 9402, we got field visual, you can't see IFR, maintaining learning services.
Chinook 9402, roger, check the cap.
Alright, activate our approach. Let's go to Dookie, boys.
Jazz 221, center getting.
Direct Dookie. Do we get VNAV for this? Getting a little bumpy now.
Center on course 3211.
I guess it could be whatever you want it to be.
On course 3211, center, good day. What's your best forward indicated airspeed you can do for me today?
Doing 270 right now on course 3211.
On course 3211, roger, okay. For spacing, maintain 270 knots or greater.
Okay, 270 greater on course 3211. Yeah, that's
Getting a little cloud turbulence here. Actually, I wonder if I should turn the radar on. Although that would show up on NextRad, right? I got NextRad on. Actually, let's do radar, just in case.
Jazz 513 checking in flight level 220. We have Zulu.
Jazz 513, good day. Say your indicated airspeed.
We're doing 245 for Jazz 513.
Jazz 513, roger.
Yeah, I was just looking at Sky Vector, and there's definitely something on there. But I got a little bit of rain. That's not bad. I mean, wouldn't be able to use the heading bug around it anyway now. So even if there was like a cell, I would have to just do it by hand. Later, Joel. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one.
Delta 2247, 16.5, climbing flight level 210.
Delta 2247, enter good day. Climb to flight level 280.
Climb flight level 280, Delta 2247. Hello, Westchester 204 within the climb on the 13.210.
Westchester 204, center good day. Climb to flight level 280.
We got 45 miles. The range on the radar is 40, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I think we're okay.
Chinook 9852, you're cleared to the Constellation Airport for an approach. Crossing restriction at move-out still in effect.
Could I check that? We could probably cancel the IFR actually, might be helpful.
Chinook 9852, roger, okay, check your canceling IFR. Company traffic's now on what looks like a 9-mile final in Conklin, 4,500 feet. I have no other radar observed traffic between you and the field. Surveillance service terminates with me.
Let's go down to 7,000 and see if we can get below these clouds.
Okay, check, cancel then, we'll call you on the ground for Chinook 9852.
Yeah, always use an active sky.
Sierra Whiskey Uniform, you're cleared out of controlled airspace in the vicinity of Blackville Beach, 25 nautical mile minimum safe altitude, 4,400 feet.
Cleared out controlled airspace in the vicinity like this one, safe.
Yeah, did you figure it out?
Sierra Whiskey Uniform, roger, I checked the remarks, no radar observed traffic between you and the field, surveillance service terminates at this time, radar frequency is good day.
Thanks, have a great day.
Jazz 331 ready to send 10,000, the Edmonton altimeter 29er 79er.
2979 down to 10,10,000, I'll discuss with Jazz 383.
Some people in the back would probably be puking in this though. A little bumpy out here.
Delta 2247 contact center 134.9er, good day.
Put your table away.
349 Delta 2247, good day.
Oh yeah, here we go. Bottom left window, it'll show you cloud, ceiling, and tops from your current location. Oh, awesome.
Center 134.9er, good day.
349,
You'd think that's something that I probably would have noticed, but you'd be wrong. Let's see if we got SGJ. No, we got the tower there. 127.6. Jacksonville approach, probably. 127.62.
Perimeter 306 cleared to 2,600.
56, perimeter 306.
Perimeter 306, turn right heading 220.
Get our inertial separator back on.
Perimeter 306, turn right heading 280, cleared straight in ILS runway 31.
Right 280, cleared straight in ILS 31, perimeter 306.
Perimeter 306, a mile and a half to the localizer and 9 to the runway. Contact 1 to Pink Tower 118.3.
306.
So the inertial separator, when it's off, that means air is flowing directly into the window, or into the engine. When the inertial separator is on, it's basically a scoop that redirects airflow around the engine. So if you ingest some, like a bird or ice or something, it's not going to go in and damage parts of the engine where air is normally going to be cooling. And the difference is, when you turn the inertial separator off, the torque will increase by up to 20%. So when you turn it off around 7,000 feet, make sure that your torque is at 80 at least. Because if it's above 80, then it can shoot up over 100, and you're not supposed to touch the throttle until it's off. So the inertial separator, just a minute ago, the torque was at 90, and you can see that it dropped back down here because we turn it back on.
Winnipeg arrival, Commerce 7540, we keep to 13,000.
When it's off, you have better engine cooling, but your engine is more susceptible to damage, obviously.
Heading 195, down 5,000, 7540.
Commerce 7540, vectors ILS runway 36, altimeter 29 or 9 or 7.
2997, would there be a possibility of the ILS 31?
Commerce 7540, say again.
Any possibility of 31?
Commerce 7540, turn left, heading 165, vectors ILS 31.
Is that?
Heading 165, vectors ILS runway 31.
I believe that is us. Let's see, I think that's our airport. Yep. But we're going to Dookie. Actually, we'll start descending here.
Commerce 7540, turn left, heading 160.
Heading 160, 7540.
So without the heading bug, a landing gear failure could be kind of interesting, because I would have to hand fly it.
Commerce 7540, level 5,000. Can you say again the altimeter setting?
Commerce 7540,
Whoa,
altimeter
clouds.
29 or 9 or
That's a
7.
refresh for you.
Back to back, Charlie, left heading 270, maintain 2,600.
Left 270, maintain 2,600, pull back to left side.
Back to back, Charlie, ready.
Briskin 395, turn right heading 235. Right 235, 385. Bearskin 395, turn right heading 280, cleared straight in ILS runway 31. 280, cleared straight in ILS 31, 395. Bearskin 395, a mile and a half to the localizer, intercepting 7 from the runway. 395. Bearskin 395. Commerce 7540, turn right heading 280, cleared straight in ILS runway 31.
Heading 280,
Heck
cleared
was
straight
that?
in ILS 317540.
Commerce 7540, a mile to the localizer, 9 to the runway.
Understood, 7540.
Commerce 7540, contact Winnipeg Tower on 118.3 now.
altimeter tower 8237540.
Maintain 4,000. 290 heading 4,000 Northwest 793. Northwest 793, vectors ILS runway 36, altimeter 2997. Northwest 793. Northwest 793, turn right heading 320. 32. Northwest 793, cleared to 3,000 at your discretion, 15 miles to the airport. 3,000, our discretion, Northwest 793.
I'm going to switch it to tower. And we are on final.
Trail target at Newport 473 with you on the visual 248.
Port 473, number 2, dash 8 is short final,
for
wind
ground.
25015, clear to land runway 248.
Clear to land 248, Port 473.
Tower Endeavour 3730, visual 24 left right.
Endeavour 3730, you're number 2, 3 miles behind dash 8, wind 27015, gust 820, clear to land runway 248, and start reducing, catching up, number 1.
Alright, we'll slow it down and clear to land 248, Endeavour 3730.
The airspeed's not coming down. I think oh, this is going to be interesting. Where's the alternate port? Alternate static air pull. There we go. Alright, we had 2 failures now.
Roger, tower, low jazz 716, already 24 knots.
Jazz 716, tower, turn right heading
that's not helping
320,
either.
remain this frequency for now. Wind 27015, start to take off 249.
Heading at 320, the right turn will stay with you, pre-takeoff at 249.
Alright, this is going to be fun. Just going to have to use a ground speed.
Endeavour 3730, I mean, E-8 will exit mid-runway to its left.
Roger.
What I need is airspeed, though. Come on, give me 3 greens, dude.
Hey, Tower Jazz 717 with you on the visual,
2, 3, alright, at least something's going right here.
Jazz 717, you're clear to line 24 left, wind 260 at 15,
Alright.
exit at the end. Clear to land and exit at the end, Jazz 717, thanks a lot.
Yeah, the left ribbon is airspeed, but it's not giving me... Oh, it is. Total airspeed, 113. Alright. It's kind of hard to see. This may be a floater, that's fine.
Tower, hello, Jordan 268 heavy, fully established 24 right.
Jordanian 268 heavy, number 2, dash 8 short final, wind 250 at 60, clear to land runway 24 right.
Number 2, clear to land 24 right 268.
Jordanian 268, not this one, the other one. Bravo 2, cross runway 28, contact apron on Fox 227, thank you.
Okay, another one, Bravo 2, 28 and 12207.
Sunwing 607, clear to land, 24 right.
Clear to land, 24 right, Sunwing 607.
I'm disconnect the autopilot. Yaw damper.
5060, gusting 24.
Thank you.
Tower Canada 780 with you. ILS 24 right, we're 2 back from the lock.
Air Canada 780, number 2, there's citation 1 mile final, wind 26017, gusting 23. Clear to land, 24 right.
Clear to land 24 right, Air Canada 780.
Airspeed.
Charlie Oscar Tango is inbound for landing.
Charlie Oscar Tango, and I'm unable at the moment. I do have an aircraft coming in on emergency, so just continue to orbit, and I'll get back to you.
It's me. It's coming in. It's an emergency.
Orange 585 is now with you, planning the visual, runway 27. We do have the field visual.
Jazz 585, I checked out the wind is 26012, altimeter 2991, clear to land runway 27, the trucks will follow you down.
Clear to land, runway 27, check the trucks will follow us, Jazz 585, thanks.
Oh. Nose came up when the reverser went out. That was a little sketch.
Jazz 585, just as a heads up, the trucks will follow you down. If you want to stay on the runway so that they can take a look, that's fine. If you can, just obviously try and get past 33 or short of 33, if you can.
Okay, check the note, we'll plan our best, Jazz 585.
Jazz 5.
Alpha Kilo. 7361, taxi Alpha Hotel. Alpha Hotel, Jordan 7861. Canada 1121, stand by on tower 1187.
Yeah, 1121.
Once we get it shut down, I'll look at the flight configuration menu and see what failures we actually got. So we lost the TAW system, the heading bug stopped working, and the airspeed stopped reading.
Alpha, Alpha Mike. Delta, cross 33 right. Alpha Mike, Canada 745.
Could park over here next to the citation.
Jazz 952, we do Delta 5. Contact the Hotel Bravo, hold short Bravo 1, cross 15 miles.
Hotel Bravo, short Bravo 1, cross 15 miles, Jazz 913.
Okay, the 40 ground, taxi left, Delta Victor and Charlie, give way to the dash, give way to the RJ on Charlie.
Okay, Delta Victor and Charlie giving way to the RJ, Canada. Say the dash or the RJ?
I said the RJ, but disregard, he's a ways back, so Delta Victor and Charlie to R1835.
Okay, Delta Victor and Charlie behind the dash 8 here, Air Canada 40.
Let's see, flight idle for less for more than 2 minutes. I think we've done that. So we'll go ahead and put that over here. Oh boy.
That's 902 ground, taxi left Charlie.
Left on Charlie, Jazz 9.
Go ahead and cut it off. Initial separator can come off.
Okay, 914 ground, 2488 is Alpha, altimeter 2959er, taxi Bravo Charlie.
Bravo Charlie 2959, we'll get Alpha, 914.
There we go. Before we do a replay, let's look at the failures. So when would we see the failures? Obviously something happened. Don't know. Replay. TBM plugin menu? Alright, I'll check after. Sure, someone said on YouTube that you'll be able to see on the flight configurations failure page what we got through X-Plane. I don't know what came from where. I'll check the TBMs after this. So watch, after I deployed the reverser, the thrust reverser, the nose started to come up. Weird. One
Zulu
more.
Delta Papa downwind for touch and go on runway 30, please.
Zulu Delta Papa, roger. Your number 2, widen out to your right a bit, please. I'll call you racer.
Zulu Delta Papa.
Charlie Oscar Tango 1270 at 12, cleared to land, runway 33.
Charlie Oscar Tango.
Not too bad considering I couldn't see
Delta Papa, the Cessna's just
the airspeed
exiting
relief.
at Alpha. Wind 270 at 15, cleared touch and go runway 33.
Alright, let's turn this off and have a look and see if we can figure out what happened. Maintenance manager. Everything reading as new. Plugins menu. What would it be? Yeah, I would imagine that the failures though came from the X-plane one, right? Actually, hold on a second. Isn't there a failures menu? Oh, here we go. Magnetometer failure. Is that the only one? So I wonder when the airspeed stopped working then, because I wasn't really paying close attention until I pulled the throttle back for approach. So the G1000 avionics, right? Is that what that came from? I'll have to go back and watch the video. So when I noticed that the TAWS and the heading bug stopped working. I want to check to see if the airspeed stopped there. Don't know. I'll go and fix all systems. There we go. She's all back to normal. Anyway, that'll do it for me today. McFaddy, thanks for hanging out. Because everybody else probably took off by now. Maybe back tomorrow. I might see you guys again next week. If not, have a good weekend. We love you, McFaddy. Have a good day at work tomorrow. It's already Friday for me, so we will see you later. Have fun. Take it easy, buddy.